prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard?
God of War Ragnarok, the sequel to the Norse mythology-based God of War from a few years back, originally was supposed to be actually released by now, but went on and got delayed until sometime in 2022, just a little while back. Now the weird news is that Ragnarok will also be a PlayStation 4 game, and it'll also mark the end of Norse mythology. So like, whatever happens this time around is gonna be the end of it all. Check it out, here's some more gameplay of Ragnarok from only a little while ago, in case you missed it.
Keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
Come in. What in all yarns be the happened to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
War is not the only way.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
No!
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person?
That's where we always meet.
Picking up where Insomniac Games left us a month back, Marvel's Wolverine was revealed to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and also the news that we're getting no more news until late 2022. Now there's actually rumors that this game will actually work just like Spider-Man's open world action RPG system, and that the game's development plan could actually go up to 2024. So let's just get back to this one where we have something even worth mentioning. Moving on.
From the ruins of the old ones to its sunken depths, it is ruled by the machines. They scour its forests, always on guard as they scavenge metal remains. Soak up the sun, patrol the sky.
Now, Horizon Forbidden West, to be fair though, comes behind another game in this video that's actually going to be mentioned later in terms of graphics. But it is also an open world game, and the other one isn't. We've already seen a lot of gameplay of Forbidden West so far, but nonetheless, Guerrilla Games actually came up with another one at the Game Awards, in addition to the news that the game's due out February 18th on the PS5 only.
It is said there are those who can harness them, even bend them to their will. A powerful secret that, in the wrong hands, will lead to a storm of destruction. Not seen since the time of the old ones.
For as long as I can remember, I have looked for an equal.
Going back to Insomniac Games, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 actually does follow up after the events of the first game, and just like its predecessor, it's gonna be an open world game, albeit with a few new elements, and also adding Venom to the mix. Well, check this out in case you've missed out. The game's a PlayStation 5 exclusive and coming out early to mid 2023.
His disappointment. Will one of you finally give me what I desire? Yes, we will.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
How do we even know the girl will be among us?
Our kind do not question orders, we follow them.
I think probably the saddest news you're gonna hear today, so... Square Enix announced that Final Fantasy XVI is delayed by almost half a year, and you will have to wait up until late 2022 to have hands on something regarding Finally. Final Fantasy XVI will be the first single-player entry in its series since Final Fantasy XV from almost 5 years ago, and it'll be a timed exclusive for the PlayStation 5 and also then coming to PCs at a later date. So keep it in mind.
What do you mean you refuse? Did you not pledge your sword to our cause?
What does it matter? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not?
Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
So they sit in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
It's the Archduke's son.
Phoenix.
Gran Turismo 7 is right now probably the most realistic game, if we're being specific, out of any genre when it comes to video games, not just racers. And for once in the history of the franchise, due out on 2 platforms and not just one. Nothing crazy though, it's only coming out to the PlayStation 4 in addition to PlayStation 5. All that's on March 4 next year, featuring multiple game modes along with a single player and even an online multiplayer section. Check this out.
Peace is a lie. That is what the Sith believe.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake, by the way, just in case you are new to, actually one of the most iconic classic RPGs of the old 20 years ago, probably, because I've actually never got to play this one. Well, it's also making a comeback exclusively to the PlayStation 5, and with the intention to be a faithful one-to-one remake of the original game from the ground up. Anyway, the game is coming out on mentioned platforms late 2022.
Who are you, child?
My name is Frey Holland. I do not know how I got here, and all I want is to go home.
She is Hell's Spawn. How else did she survive in the corruption?
After a few teasers since the reveal of Project Athia by Square Enix and the changed title Forspoken now went on to receive another gameplay at the Game Awards to gather even more hype. However, this time around it even came our way with the announcement of a precise release date of May 24th, 2022 and into the PlayStation 5 in addition to PCs at a later date. So here's the thing, if you do enjoy action RPGs, parkour, magic, female protagonists and stuff, Forspoken is actually one of the top 3 AAAs of 2022. Take a look.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Lies! She dies!
So, Granblue Fantasy Relink, on the other hand, one of the longest anticipated action RPGs of the old 4-player co-op greatness in the making, now actually has a release date of early to mid 2022, heading to the PCs and the PlayStation 4 and also the PlayStation 5. This is not to be mistaken with Granblue Fantasy itself or Granblue Fantasy Versus, which is simply a fighting game. This is perhaps the company's biggest game to date. Check it out.
That treasure hunting is not a good gig for the risk of us.
Neither is being a mercenary.
Sony just announced a release date for the remastered Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection for the PS5 and said it's going to be released January 28th next year. This game is going to be released on the PCs as well, but at a later date. In 2022 though, for about $50. Now if you do like action adventure and the old Tomb Raider games, just in case you are new to this one, Uncharted collection over here guys is the biggest no-brainer in today's video. So make sure to get to know this one.
That was a close one, huh?
Then we have Lost Soul Aside, which is probably the oldest to have been announced, technically speaking, in this video. It actually dates back to almost 6 years ago. I mean, it's been cooking for quite a while. But finally, we're here once again from only a couple months back, and not with just a few more minutes, but 20 more minutes of gameplay. This game is at the moment targeting the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, in addition to PCs at a later date, mid to late 2022. Check it out.
Our reasons for Babylon's tower to fall. But not everyone has the power to make it happen.
I think most of you Souls-like fans probably have had Babylon's Fall at the back of your thoughts for a long time. This action game actually went on to receive a brand new trailer after quite a while at the Game Awards, though just a while back, showing off more gameplay. Platinum Games is actually known for the combat, the fast-paced Bayonetta, good old fun, on top of a release date of March 3rd, 2022, and into the PlayStation 5, 4, and also PCs.
Is go back. The tower awaits. It's time to ascend.
running fast, jumping, and using stealth to avoid dangers will all be vital if you want to escape this city and be reunited with family.
Stray is a third-person adventure game you'll probably already know, in which the player takes control of a stray cat and into a post-apocalyptic open-world setting where robots have actually taken over the Earth. This game is actually partly puzzle and exploration based, and in case you didn't know, actually one of the biggest, probably the biggest projects out of Annapurna Interactive, which is actually one of the really good developers of the past few years. Check it out. This game is now coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5 in addition to PCs early 2022.
Stray is coming to PS4, PS5 as well as PC in early 2022, and we can't wait to show you more.
Sifu, the Kung Fu brawler that was announced last year, is now actually cooking a physical edition coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5 for sometime spring next year. I have reason to believe most of you are already familiar with Sifu, especially for the past couple of weeks. It's actually one of the most cinematic games I have seen for a while, and one that comes with a real good developer. In any case, this is how it actually looks like now. And last but not least, we have Chia. I'd like to think the liveliest game to come our way with a second announcement for the past couple of years. Now here's another trailer for Chia from a couple of weeks back in case you've missed it. This game is a story-driven open world single player, which is basically kind of like Breath of the Wild but not a Nintendo exclusive. Here, this one's coming in mid to late 2022.